Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money channel. Alts.sgb here on Twitter posting this with regards to Songbird tokens. So SGB tokens, guys, Songbird whales, are you out there? How many SGB tokens do you actually hold and how many are you delegating? So here are the ranking wallets. If you guys didn't think you may be an SGB whale, well, guess again, you might actually be an SGB whale. So here are some rankings here. You guys can see the numbers balance of SGB tokens and the number of wallets. So even if you hold anywhere between 1 to 5 million SGB, you're among 66 people or 66 wallets that hold that number, even between 500,000, so 500,000 SGB tokens and a million. The number is fairly low, only 46. And check this out, I mean, 100,000 to 500,000, 443 wallets, so only 443 wallets. There aren't as many people, obviously, delegating or holding SGB tokens as there are for more popular cryptocurrencies. But anyway, I thought this was an interesting resource here. There is apparently a website that does rank this stuff. So straight up XRP here asking, is there a website? And alts.sgb did respond to this saying, the guy I give credit to in the post explains where anyone can pull up the numbers from. And so he gave credit to DeFi Divi here for these numbers and this information. So just thought I'd bring this to you guys in case you were interested, in case you did catch the video I did on SGB yesterday. I'll link it up here in the top right-hand corner. Now, trading has resumed on Uphold, but I do think that, you know, taking into consideration that it was halted, we did see the price of SGB go up. You know, some of the things to consider, you know, the things that I did talk about in that video yesterday are all still very relevant, especially when it comes to how many exchanges are going to be listing XRP before the final verdict for the SEC lawsuit is announced, and how many exchanges, think about it, are going to jump on board afterwards, kind of, you know, almost when it's too late. So some things that we should be preparing for, you know, if you're a trader in the US and you may have limited options for XRP trading. Wanted to continue, guys. I saw this from Digital Assets Daily here on Twitter. 2023, it all comes together. A very disconcerting glimpse into the year 2023. And so this is happening in the UK. King Valix originally tweeted this out. Oh, look, universal basic income starting in the UK now in 2023. Still think this is going to take 20 years? Still think there's much time left? Probably nothing, though. Listen to this, guys.
Today, we've announced that this spring, millions of those on the lowest incomes will get £301 directly into their bank accounts. This is the first of several payments direct from the government to the most vulnerable people's pockets in 2023 and early 2024. In addition, there will be 2 more payments for low-income families of around £300, meaning they will receive up to £900. On top of this, for many pensioners, there is an extra £300. And for millions of disabled people, an additional £150 payment. This all means some households could receive as much as £1,350. No one will need to apply for any of these payments as they are paid automatically. This is all part of a £26 billion package for 2023 and beyond to help every household in the UK with the rising cost of living. They build on similar payments sent to millions of families last year as we continue to shield those in need from global pressures fueling rising prices.
Coming to you straight from the Department for Work and Pensions in the United Kingdom. So basically, this is universal basic income. I know in Canada, during right at the beginning of the pandemic, they were giving out what they were calling CERB payments. Basically free money to anybody who was out of work. At that time, I thought to myself, this is a good option for people who are out of work. But now, coming around the other end, thinking about it a little more, having more knowledge on the matter, it was probably also an attempt to test run a universal basic income system because the powers that be, they know we are just going to get poorer as our fiat money. And, it doesn't matter whether it's the Canadian dollar, the US dollar, the British pound, the Japanese yen, whatever it is, the value, the buying power becomes less and less. So, they need to keep us happy. They need to keep us from revolting, and this is the way. Universal basic income keeps everybody satisfied, satiated, happy, live in your 15-minute city, hang around there, and, eventually this is going to be rolled out in the form of a central bank digital currency. So this is what's happening in UK, and guys, it is happening in 2023. Don't know how many viewers I have out there from the UK who've already heard about this, or maybe, maybe even know a little more than I do about this. Put it down in the comment section. You can also tag me on Twitter. I'm at WorkingMoneyCH on Twitter. I mean, it doesn't help that we've got nimrods like Craig Wright in the space continuing to spew lies about Ripple and XRP. This coming from Mac Attack XRP on Twitter. Self-proclaimed Satoshi slams XRP as a Ponzi scheme. Now, Craig Wright has had a few arguments with David Schwartz over there on Twitter. He did just recently come out again and, basically write a bunch of lies about Ripple and the XRP token. So here's what he said. Wright also claimed Ripple has been using ambiguous language to conceal the truth for over 8 years now, in turn defrauding the market, labeling it as a Ponzi scheme. The computer scientists challenged Ripple, and this is what he said, okay? This is what he wrote on Twitter just yesterday. If you are saying that you have a solution and that it is being used in production, you will be able to put evidence. It doesn't make sense grammatically, but that's okay. Not marketing material evidence. At no point even Ripple ever demonstrated this, and it is not my place to define every possible bank in existence that may have ever used Ripple. The deflection by Ripple is expected. They have a system that isn't being used, that is constantly being rejected even when they pay people to use it, and a C-level individual who is defrauding the market to keep their Ponzi going. So here was the tweet down here again from yesterday. But basically, as you guys can see, Craig Wright has no clue what Ripple is doing, because this is all just false information. I mean, and maybe he's just doing it to get a rise out of David Schwartz. I don't know, because this is sheer stupidity. If you do even just a little bit of research, you would know that this is just false. So, I mean, he's just making himself look stupider and stupider. Notably, the Twitter spat between the two began on December 24th, as we know, in a series of tweets that saw Wright initially berate XRP as a useless pump and dump scheme. Now, I mean, there could be some reasons behind this. We do know Ripple is getting closer to a settlement, and we do know that that will likely threaten many other cryptocurrencies in the space, not just legally, in terms of, if those cryptos are going to have the same kind of clarity that XRP has, but also functionally. Let's not forget, Ripple has the upper hand. They have the head start. They have all the partnerships. They already have partnerships in. It even sounds as though they have partnerships lined up in the US. As we know, Bank of America is one of them. Brad Garlinghouse has already come out and said, basically, once we get clarity here in the United States, Bank of America is basically all ready and set to go. So that's just one of the major partnerships that they're allowed to talk about in the United States. Who knows if there are maybe a handful of others, or maybe dozens of others in the United States that also want to run on RippleNet once we get clarity in the space. So, I mean, it doesn't really make sense. It almost makes it sound like this guy it doesn't sound like he's living on the same planet as we are. Anyway, doesn't really matter. Mac Attack XRP wanted to thank him for that. Moving away from fairy tale and into reality, Matthew LANY posted this: Ripple bullish on MENA expansion to cash in on crypto payment surge. So this was an interview done with managing director of Ripple in the MENA region, Navin Gupta. And so he came out and was basically giving us the goods on MENA region expansion for Ripple and XRP. Here's what he says: as more institutions in the MENA region look to adopt a crypto strategy, demand in the region is rising for more crypto-enabled cross-border remittance services, according to Navin Gupta, a top official at Ripple. Here's a quote: we have seen a great deal of interest from institutions across MENA to use on-demand liquidity to underpin the remittance services they offer, and we already have local payment service providers such as Pipple using the solution to facilitate remittances between the UAE and other countries around the world. Our clients and partners in the region are making use of our ODL crypto solutions to facilitate cross-border payments as MENA continues to be a growing region for remittances. We expect to further expand our presence in the region as our business grows there. So they have no plans to stop growth in the MENA region through Ripple's payment network, RippleNet. Its customers can leverage the digital asset XRP. As we know, Ripple's cross-border payment technology is used by enterprises, and its clients are primarily banks, payment service providers, and other fintechs. Here's another quote from Navin Gupta. We have seen a lot of interest in our services in MENA. We have partnerships with several leading banks in the region, including the SABB in Saudi Arabia and QNB in Qatar. We are also working with local payment service providers such as Pipple and Lulu Money, which are using Ripple's ODL crypto solution to facilitate global movements between different currencies. So, just stating some of the companies in the MENA region that are already not only using RippleNet, but leveraging XRP for cross-border payment solutions, obviously for FX conversion, right? Converting different types of fiat currencies very quickly, leveraging the liquidity that XRP provides to do so. Down here, he says, by harnessing crypto liquidity, Ripple can bring new products to the market that aren't possible with legacy systems. And if you guys didn't catch the video I did this morning, I'll link it up here in the top right-hand corner, right at the top of the video, so you don't have to fast forward through. I talked a little bit about Swift's new advertisement and how it compares to an advertisement that Ripple put out 3 years ago now. Just looking at the production and, the mindset, the ideology between the two companies. And it's kind of funny, we really do get a sense that Swift is the legacy, stodgy, no new progress type company, whereas Ripple is that brand new shiny fintech with cutting edge technology that really does want to change the face of payments. And, even just visually, you can see it. So, take a look at that if you want. Anyway, wanted to thank Matthew Liny just for bringing this latest Navin Gupta interview to my attention. The payments market changing, though, is not going to come without its challenges. Unfortunately, Stellar has lost one of its big anchors, according to Crypto Eddie here on Twitter. So crypto payments firm Wyre is to shut down after missing out on a $1.5 billion deal. A crypto payments firm is reportedly shutting down after a $1.5 billion deal fell through. According to a new report by Axio, crypto payment provider Wyre is shutting down after Bolt Financial, a software development firm, went back on its deal to acquire the platform. So, sounds as though they were in financial trouble to begin with, and they were relying on this Axio deal, but it didn't go through. We'll continue to do everything we can, but I want everyone to brace themselves for the fact that we will need to unwind the business over the next couple of weeks. This is a statement from Wyre's CEO, and so Stellar did have a partnership with Wyre, and again, if they do go under, it doesn't sound like that partnership will continue, maybe unless there's another deal that comes through that would in fact purchase the Wyre company and would honor the Stellar partnership moving forward. Anyway, we don't really have too much more news on that, but wanted to thank Crypto Eddie for posting that. And as we're seeing the market change, guys, we're also getting more news, bittersweet news, I gotta say. Positive news, I guess, for cryptocurrencies, the crypto industry, cross-border payments, and utility cryptocurrencies like XRP and XLM, but maybe not so positive news for the United States dollar. Bond Crypto XRP posting this. So this coming from former Russian, he's not the Russian president, but he is the former Russian head of state. I think that translation, I think it translates to something different than the president. Nevertheless, here's what he said. Digital fiat currencies will spread next year while the US dollar will be losing its status as global reserve currency. Now, this is a higher up in the Russian government, and he's stating it flat out. That's his prediction for 2023. The Bretton Woods monetary system will collapse next year, causing the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank to crash, according to the man who was at the helm of Russia for 4 years between two of Vladimir Putin's presidential terms. Okay, so I guess he was the head of state. This is weird. I thought Vladimir Putin was has been the president since 2000. Anyway, I guess I got to brush up on my Russian politics. Euro and dollar, he continues, will stop circulating as the global reserve currencies. Digital fiat currencies will be actively used instead, while all the largest financial markets and financial activity will leave the US and Europe and move to Asia. So a bold statement, but I can see where he's coming from. I mean, most of Asia, we got China, Russia, and some of the BRICS countries. They're already in the works to kind of create their own economy, on the eastern side of the world. And so it would not surprise me one bit if we did, in fact, end up seeing this. Medvedev went on to say he went on to forecast that oil prices will reach $150 per barrel and natural gas will top $5,000. So also energy is going to become more expensive. He also expects the EU to collapse after the United Kingdom rejoins the bloc and the euro to fall out of use. In a divided Europe, France and Germany will clash, while Hungary and Poland will occupy parts of Western Ukraine. So some interesting predictions here. Down here, this is what it says. Throughout the outgoing year, Russian authorities have been working to expand the legal framework for digital assets and regulate cryptocurrencies. So I've talked a little bit about this in former videos, and for the obvious reasons why we can see why they would be doing this. On the backdrop of, if we assume The US dollar loses dominance, it falls out of favor, along with the euro. We can see now even more why, creating this new framework using DLT technology, leveraging cryptocurrencies like XRP is going to be positive for the BRICS countries. Let's also not forget that Sberbank actively did have a pilot run. They did trial Ripple's XRP back in 2018. So there still is that question. Are they going to use XRP as that agnostic cryptocurrency to transfer liquidity beyond borders? Of course, there's going to be commerce that's going to be done in the Russian ruble and the Chinese yuan and, many other different currencies that the BRICS countries use. So there's always that possibility as well. In particular, they're used for cross-border settlement amid financial restrictions. While the Bank of Russia, which is developing its own digital ruble, proposed a blanket ban on crypto transactions in the country, Medvedev told Russian media in January that a prohibition could have the opposite effect. So they realize that cross-border payments are crucial, and they're basically the lifeblood of a financial system. So with the regulations, they specifically say, in particular, they're used for cross-border settlements, which means to me, guys, that it is likely going to be that cross-border payment currencies, specifically the XLMs and the XRPs, they will likely be greenlit in Russia for use, even if Russia doesn't decide, let's say, to want to use XRP. Maybe there's another BRICS country that trades with Russia or that trades with China that does want to use XRP. So, I'm not counting it out. I know it is American technology, and we know how Russians feel about American technology. Nevertheless, Sberbank did pilot Ripple and XRP back in 2018. So being cautiously optimistic on this. Also saw this from Michael Branch, guys, and so this is also going to be important. Another exchange has just listed XRP. Now, I don't know if this is a relisting of XRP or if it's a brand new listing of XRP. Bitmart here, one of the leading digital asset trading platforms, has listed Ripple-affiliated XRP cryptocurrency on its platform. Users will be able to trade it against Tether. Why this is important, guys, is because the United States is going to need XRP fiat on and off ramps as soon as, or rather, even before we get that verdict from the SEC lawsuit. If the price starts rallying like nobody's business, we're going to need a way that's going to be able to handle the volume, right? Bitmart, one of the leading digital asset trading platforms, has listed XRP, and you can trade it against USDT. The new pair went live earlier today. The cryptocurrency's deposit feature became available, and then it just gives the time here. This announcement marks a significant boost for XRP holders as it allows them to access more exchanges in a more efficient way. Now, I don't know if you can use Bitmart if you are in the United States. I personally do not use this exchange, but by doing a little bit more research here, here's the official statement here from Bitmart Exchange. If you do a little more research, you can see here from CoinMarketCap, technically they are an exchange that is headquartered in the Cayman Islands with offices in China, South Korea, and the United States. The exchange is officially registered as a money service business in the United States. So don't know what that means in terms of how it will affect traders, American traders being able to trade XRP in the US. The global cryptocurrency exchange provides real-time trading services in over 180 countries. Moreover, and this is the important part here, it can be accessed by US citizens, except for those in particular states, such as Connecticut, Georgia, Hawaii, New Mexico, New York, and Washington. But for everybody else in the US, you can, in fact, access Bitmart. So now the question is, will you be able to trade XRP in the United States using Bitmart? Will you be able to trade it before there's a verdict? Is this another option on top of Uphold to be able to trade your XRP? And for the American XRP traders out there, are you going to be signing up for a Bitmart account? Tell me down in the comments what you guys think, and please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.